Welcome back to The Last Boot, the channel where football is more than a game. It is emotion. It is history. It is the human story behind every goal and every heartbreak. I am so glad you are here today. If you are new here, please subscribe and join the Last Boot family. We are growing every single day and I do not want you to miss a single story. There is a type of footballer that comes along once in a generation. Not the fastest. Not the strongest. Not the most prolific scorer. But the one who makes the game look like art. The one who controls a match not with pace or power but with thought. With touch. With an almost supernatural understanding of space and time that leaves everyone watching, opponents, teammates, fans, feeling like they are witnessing something that should not be possible. Zinedine Zidane was that footballer. And this is his story. Zinedine Zidane was born on the 23rd of June 1972 in Marseille, France. His parents had emigrated from Algeria from the Kabyle region and settled in La Castellane, one of the toughest housing estates in the city. It was here, on the concrete streets of Marseille, that Zidane learned to play football. Not on grass. Not with coaching. Just on hard ground, in tight spaces, with older boys who showed no mercy. Those tight spaces gave him everything. The close control. The ability to turn in an instant. The comfort on the ball under pressure that would later make him look almost untouchable at the highest level. He signed for Caen at 14. By 21 he was at Bordeaux. By 23 he was being watched by the biggest clubs in Europe. In 1996 Juventus came calling. And Zidane arrived in Turin as one of the most elegant midfielders in the world. At Juventus he won back-to-back Serie A titles. He reached 2 Champions League finals. He became the heartbeat of one of the greatest club sides in Europe. But it was the summer of 1998 that changed everything. France hosted the World Cup. And Zidane, playing on home soil, in front of his own people, carrying the hopes of a nation, delivered one of the greatest individual performances in the history of the tournament. The final was against Brazil, the defending champions. The team with Ronaldo. And Zidane scored twice in the first half. Both times with his head. A player known for his feet, his touch, his ground game, rising above the Brazilian defense and heading France into history. France won 3-0. Zidane was carried off the pitch like a king. His face was projected onto the Arc de Triomphe. An entire nation celebrated a boy from La Castellane who had just given them the world. In 2001 Real Madrid paid €77.5 million for Zinedine Zidane. At the time it was the most expensive transfer in football history. He was worth every single cent. In his very first season at Real Madrid he scored what many people to this day consider the greatest goal ever scored in a Champions League final. Bayer Leverkusen. Glasgow. 2002. A cross came in from the left. Zidane was on the edge of the box. The ball was dropping over his left shoulder, his weaker foot. Any other player would have chested it down, set themselves, taken their time. Zidane did not have time. He did not need it. He volleyed it. Left foot. First time. Into the top corner. The goalkeeper did not move. He could not move. Nobody could move. The stadium fell silent for 1 second, just one, before it erupted into something close to madness. It is still there on YouTube. Watch it. It will make you understand why people call this man an artist. Zidane won the Champions League. He won La Liga. He was FIFA World Player of the Year 3 times. He was arguably the best player in the world for the better part of a decade. And then came 2006. France reached the World Cup final again. Zidane, 34 years old, in what everyone knew would be his last match as a professional, was magnificent. He scored a penalty with a pancake chip that was so audacious it made the entire world laugh with disbelief and delight. France and Italy were level after extra time. And then in the 110th minute something happened that shocked the world. Marco Materazzi said something to Zidane. Nobody heard it. Zidane walked away. Then he turned back. And he headbutted Materazzi in the chest. Red card. Zidane walked off the pitch. Past the World Cup trophy that was sitting on a plinth at the side of the field. He did not look at it. He did not touch it. He walked into the tunnel. And he never played professional football again. France lost the penalty shootout. Italy won the World Cup. And the greatest player of his generation ended his career in the most stunning, most heartbreaking, most human way imaginable. Years later Zidane said he did not regret it. That whatever was said to him crossed a line that could not be ignored. And somehow even in that moment of madness there was something deeply human about Zidane. Something that reminded you he was never just a football machine. He was a man. A proud man. A man who grew up on the streets of Marseille where certain words demanded a response. That headbutt did not erase what he was. It only made him more complicated. More real. More fascinating. Zinedine Zidane. The Maestro. The most elegant footballer of his generation. The boy from La Castellane who painted masterpieces on football pitches across the world. And whose final brush stroke, for better or worse, nobody will ever forget. That is it for today's story on The Last Boot. If this video moved you, please give it a big thumbs up. Share this with every football fan you know. Hit subscribe and join the Last Boot family. See you in the next video. Until then, keep the passion alive.